Hello coaster fans, welcome back to my channel. Months ago, this document was leaked by BGW fans, and they did an article on it. Now, this is a very credible source, and it appeared to be plans for a new launch coaster for Busch Gardens Williamsburg in 2021. If you are interested, I can put a link for the article in the description down below. And I would also recommend watching Coaster Studios' video on this topic if you haven't already for more info. This will be located back behind Verbolten across the Rhine River from Pantheon and Drachen Flyer's old plot of land, giving it the nickname Drachen Spire, which is pretty clever. I like it. It is supposed to be 355 feet tall, but that will be an incredible 435 feet above sea level. Okay, so you're going to start your ride experience with moving over on a switch track from the station to the ride layout, and then launch backwards up a spike. And this looks to be near vertical, and maybe 50 to 100 feet tall. That would be my guess, but I'm not sure. Then after that, you're going to fall back down the spike and hit a second launch. And this will be even faster, and it will be a forward launch, maybe 70 to 80 miles per hour. This launch will lead you into this weird overbank turn. It looks like an S-bend, but if it got deformed and was blown up and got huge. This turn doesn't look to be ridiculously high or anything, but it should provide some fun positive G's and it will be fun. Immediately following that, you go into the third launch right before that max height of 355 feet. And that 355 foot height will be another spike, and it looks like it will be a twisting spike, in the style of Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. You will be reaching speeds of probably over 100 miles per hour at this point. When you get to the top, you will fall back down and traverse that overbank backwards and back into the station. Lastly, the manufacturer is going to be Intamin, and this doesn't really surprise me at all. Intamin is known for having some weird, innovative rides, and Intamin is also the manufacturer creating Pantheon, the quote-unquote other half of this ride. With that basic overview done, let's get into the pros and cons of this ride. I have 3 pros and 3 cons. The first pro is that this will be a very unique ride. There really isn't anything like it on this scale. I mean, TurboTrack at Ferrari World, which opened up in 2017 and is fairly new, kind of has a similar layout with that twisting vertical spike, but that is only 210 feet tall and 63.4 miles per hour, a lot less than Drachen Spire will be. Not to mention that on TurboTrack, you just launch up the spike, fall back down, and then you're done. So, a couple seconds, really short. Busch Gardens' version will incorporate a lot more elements. That weird S-bend also looks pretty unique, and although I'm sure that there are other roller coasters out there that have a similar element, again, not of this size. Now for the first con. Although it is a unique ride in the sense that it's a 355-foot spiral spike, it is also very similar to some other coasters at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Tempesto and Pantheon also both have a swinging launch, which means that you launch forwards and backwards over the same part of the layout multiple times. I kind of wish that instead we finally got that B&M Flyer, large-scale Woody, or Mack Extreme Spinner. The second pro is that it's tall and it's fast. People say that stats aren't everything, and that's true with rides like Maverick. Only 100 feet tall, but still packs a punch. However, there's a reason why I love rides like Intimidator 305, Top Thrill Dragster, and Griffin. I crave that wind rushing in your face sensation and swooping down from those high drops. I think that Drachen Spire will definitely deliver in that department. The second con is that this ride may have lots of downtime. I mean, look at a ride like Top Thrill Dragster, also by Intamin, and it's closed half the day. Intamin is just not the most reliable company, but that is a risk many parks are willing to take. Plus, Drachen Spire will feature some complicated elements like a switch track, multiple launches, and more. Plus, it might close due to low levels of wind because of that spike, kind of like how Windseeker closes when there's no wind, basically. I mean, we don't even know how Pantheon's going to turn out, so I think we'll have to wait and see what that's all about first. The third and final pro is not exactly a pro about the ride layout or experience itself, it's more about what it means that SeaWorld is willing to build this ride. It signifies that SeaWorld is willing to pay a lot and take a risk in order to try and bring in the guests. SeaWorld is not afraid to push the boundaries or get a first-of-its-kind model. We already kind of saw this with Pantheon, but this just seals the deal. SeaWorld Orlando is even getting the first-ever surf coaster next year. Who knows, maybe a SeaWorld or Busch Gardens park might even get the first access coaster. I hope so. Now it's time for the final con, in that this is a short ride. it will definitely be under a minute, maybe even closer to 30 seconds. I don't think this con is as big of a deal though, because within that short duration, the elements look like they will deliver and they'll be tons of fun. Hopefully the coronavirus pandemic or the Lions against SeaWorld doesn't cancel or hinder the development of this ride. I know that it also may seem that I'm bashing this ride quite a bit in the cons, but I'm actually very excited that this ride is coming because I know that there are plenty of people out there whose home park is, well, neglected. Tell me in the comments section, do you think the cons outweigh the pros, or do you think this will be a top coaster on the East Coast? Busch Gardens has been my home park for ages, so I'm very excited. And I'm also excited about what SeaWorld has in store for this park in the coming years. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow Amazing Coasters on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time.